had to write down a list of shoots that you did before you couldn't do it anymore, this would definitely be one of them, just because I love ATVs and I love bikes, and I'm fortunate enough to be in good graces with both a badass on an ATV and a badass on a dirt bike. So it was definitely cool that Muscle Milk and Fly Racing and Motorsport hopped on board, and they're pretty much the only reason this all happened. So if Motorsport hadn't sent their guys out to help me shoot, Dayton, Dillon, Waltney, and then Alec, Gaut came out, and they killed it with shooting. So I'm really excited to see how my dream came out. Being an ATV enthusiast and working around the two-wheel world, I always thought that it was funny how much trash talk there was on the ATV guys from the dirt bike guys, but the quad guys are pretty crazy themselves, so I thought it would be cool to kind of see what a dirt bike rider's perspective would be on an ATV rider. It was hard to get Trey to agree to do this at first, because I think he was a little on the fence about the whole ATV riding his track, and I don't think he had any clue as to what an ATV could do. So I imagine he just pictured some spode coming out and killing his track, which we didn't do the best in keeping it in shape, but I think we definitely turned some heads, at least Trey's. Thomas was really enthusiastic from the get-go, and I found out after the fact that he was actually pretty nervous from the start. And he didn't tell me that, but I think it was just because he had the jitters from Trey, you know, being at Trey's house, and I mean, that would make anyone crazy, and then being able to ride. He's got a lot of responsibility on his shoulders right now, I think he feels, because he's like the representative of the ATV world right now as far as Trey Canard's concerned. I've worked with Trey so many times, and he's a genuine guy, and it seems pretty cool to be around, and he's been fun to work with. So even, you know, ATV riders, they look up to Trey. I picked Thomas because Thomas is like I would consider Thomas like a new age ATV racer. Kind of has that style that, I don't know, it's hard to explain. He's definitely got an aggressive style, and I wanted that to be the picture that we painted for Trey, and I knew that Thomas would just go out there and attack the track like it was his own, and being at his home track, I knew that he was going to be just fine at Trey's. Scheduling these guys to come together was not that bad. Like, Trey's really easy to work with, and Thomas is real enthusiastic about the whole thing from the get-go. I think the main thing was just trying to figure out what we were going to do as far as the guys riding together, and once we figured that part of this whole thing out, it kind of fell into place. It just couldn't have gone any better as far as scheduling goes, and getting these guys together and shooting, everything just clicking so well, and I think it really shows in the video. For the most part, I think that people just genuinely don't understand what an ATV can and can't do, and I think that my main goal was to just show that the obstacles can be as rugged as they need to be, and an ATV rider like Thomas's caliber can go out there and, you know, do work. Obviously, he's not going to hang with the bike. It's a different machine altogether. That's like, you know, a street bike hopping on there and trying to race a dirt bike. It's completely different, but the obstacles can be the same, and I think that that's something that we've proved, and Trey's gotten to see that in person, and I think that overall it was definitely a positive outcome.